Tina Onifer was standing in her kitchen, washing dishes in March of 2017, unaware that something horrific was about to happen. She was abruptly overcome with a nauseating pain in her head and eyes, describing it as if she had been seized by some invisible hand and couldn't move. Onifer was a U.S. foreign agent stationed in Havana, Cuba, and that day joined the long list of people who mysteriously fell ill to this sickness. Despite numerous attempts at explaining the phenomenon, few have come to any real explanations to what caused these mysterious incidents, and naturally raises the question of if it will happen again. More than 1,000 cases like Onifer exist today, but it all began in Cuba a year before Onifer's illness, when Americans as well as Cuban government officials and agents were overtaken with a strange sickness after reportedly hearing an ear-splitting metallic hissing or chaotic chirping that sounded as if a beam of noise was directly pointed at the rooms they were in. Their strange symptoms, unexplainable recordings, and bizarre regularity of these occurrences lead to today's investigation on Havana syndrome cases from 2016 into the present day. And across multiple continents, we investigate this occurrence. Join us today on Unknown Anomalies and their Biblical Connection. Howdy, howdy. What's up, y'all?
Hello.
So,
All right.
James, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was very, very good. How was yours?
It was good.
All right.
I nearly saw Bigfoot, but I didn't. I flew a drone around on this ranch or farm there's supposed to be Bigfoot at, and
I want to go to a ranch.
it wasn't a real ranch, but I flew the drone around trying to find Bigfoot, and I lost my drone, and it took me a half hour to find it, but I didn't find Bigfoot.
Well,
I found my drone.
Well, we've established that we're going to ask slightly offensive questions
Starting in this episode.
So, Sam.
Yeah. James.
I will now ask you, Jim, to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 Adolf Hitler's mustache.
That's not that offensive, right?
I hope not.
Okay, so, because I don't have a mustache, but I think I would look really cool in a mustache. I give any mustache that anyone has an automatic 5, just at a base level. Adolf Hitler, not a cool guy. I'd say in 1 to 10 scale of personality, it would have to be pretty low, you know. But for the mustache, I would give him a solid 6.
And there have been entertainers from the 1920s. I can't remember his name. I misnamed him as Buster Keaton last time, but he had a similar mustache. It's not Charlie Chaplin. That's his name. Charlie Chaplin.
Did you know? This is actually a fun fact. I did not pre-plan, but did you know Charlie Chaplin once got 3rd place in a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest? That means there were 2 other guys that looked more like Charlie Chaplin than Charlie Chaplin looked like Charlie Chaplin. It's kind of absurd.
What if Elvis faked his death and he enters an Elvis impersonation contest?
We can't use up all that information. We're going to do that in a later episode.
Elvis is still alive.
He is out there, and we're
out
going
there.
to find him.
Elvis!
If
Hey,
you're
buddy.
watching this,
Buddy. It's not an if. Buddy, look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes. I know you're watching, and I would like to say hello. Anyways.
Anyhow. So, James.
He just said,
He did.
Uh-huh.
Jim, whoever you want to go by. Do you believe in Havana syndrome?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'll find out today.
Alright, y'all, we're talking about Havana syndrome today, and if you listen to our cold open, you're probably pretty intrigued.
I'm sure they just skipped a full minute into the video.
If you skipped into this
specifically
video,
not to listen to the cold open.
If you missed the cold open, go back and watch it, and then listen to what I'm about to say, because it's real. We're going to start with part 1, which is the 2016 Cuban cases. So, James, as you are well aware, in 2016 something happened in Cuba that the United States government has yet to explain. Do you know what happened?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I don't. Am I supposed to know this?
No, you're good. Okay.
Did you go over this and I didn't listen?
Well, that was like our cold open, but yeah.
Oh.
So, according to Reader's Digest, quote, in December 2016, a CIA officer checked into the American Embassy Health Office in Havana, suffering from nausea, headache, and dizziness. Days later, 2 more CIA officers reported similar ailments. By late 2018, the number grew to 26 Americans and 14 Canadian. Sorry, your Canadian pronunciation wore off on me.
Canadian.
14 Canadian diplomats with roughly the same weird symptoms, ranging from hearing loss to nosebleed. All of the victims said that the symptoms were related to a strange noise they'd heard at their hotels or hotel rooms. One noted that the noise was high-pitched. Another described a beam of sound pointed into the rooms. Some of them said the noise resembled marbles rolling inside a large funnel. So, they hear weird noises, they get these even weirder symptoms, and it starts happening pretty regularly between this 2-year period in Cuba. And what's most intriguing is it's really important people. It's CIA officials, Canadian diplomats, it's people with a lot of power and a lot of influence that are suddenly placed in a very extremely weird predicament.
So, they were in a hotel room, right? Some of them in a hotel.
Actually in the homes, yeah.
Okay. And then, so they hear this. So, let me get the details straight, because I'm kind of bad with this. So, they get a splitting headache. Mm-hmm. They start hearing this buzz, and they're befuddled.
They're very befuddled.
Okay. Courtesy of, I don't know if I can say your name on this podcast, but you know who you are, and you know you introduced me to that word. So thank you.
I'm sure they're watching.
I'm sure.
We've got so many listeners now.
I'm sure he's watching. We have an average of 12 views.
An average.
Average.
Average at least more than that. So, by this episode, we have quite a large fan base, probably. I
do not, in fact, look at any other statistics than views on YouTube. Yeah. So, we probably have 18 billion on Spotify. And I just look at YouTube and I'm like,
if you're watching this on Spotify, thank you.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you're my boys. I edit the videos.
Yeah. So, yeah, James, good job editing.
Anyways.
So, these sickening noises from 2016 started causing a lot of questions within the United States government, because they're not just going to have a bunch of CIA agents drop off and then let that go unnoticed. So they obviously start investigating it.
Now, did they die from this syndrome, or were they just
I don't believe there were any deaths.
Okay, so because when you said drop off, that sounds like.
I think some of them may not have not been able to work temporarily.
Okay.
But I'm unclear with that at the moment. What's interesting to me, specifically since they were high ranking, is that if it had something to do with the information they knew, like if the Russians or some sort of terrorist group was they know too much, we're going to take them out, and then either it didn't kill them or their goal was just to hack into their mind and brainwash them with something with this. Maybe this is all MK Ultra.
I have a very unhinged theory.
All right.
Okay. Correct me if anything is wrong here. But, so, you know how there's so have you seen the show Stranger Things?
I have not, but that's what our first episode kind of references indirectly.
In that show, they have the main character, she can kind of enter other people's minds, because she was in MK Ultra, whether they call it that or not. I don't remember. Anyways, what if that's a thing, okay? And this hearing thing was a disease they intentionally gave them so they can't hear someone poking around in their head.
Interesting.
Now, I don't know whether or not I actually believe that. I probably don't. But I like saying things.
Yeah, I do think it could have something to do with either mind reading or mind trying to get them to forget something, which does remind me a lot of MK Ultra.
What if they weren't trying?
Yeah, maybe they were very successful.
And maybe that's why we don't know more.
If it is that, then it does make me think that it was the United States government behind it, which is an interesting thought. So, this actually happened to a lot more than 26 people, because today there are over over 1,000 reports of this. So very early on in this case has started happening on a very international basis. It happened in countries all over the world, and we will talk about that momentarily. But first, we're going to talk about a few causes that people have given it. So we'll go into part 2, which are microwaves. James, have you ever seen a microwave?
Are microwaves going around? You reach your hand in the microwave to put the food in the microwave.
Yeah.
Okay, the microwave bites you, and now you have Havana syndrome. Is that how it works?
It could be like a microwave malfunction.
So your microwave
Think about it.
microwaves you. You put your pasta in, and you put the pasta in, and in your microwave, you set it for 50 seconds, and the next 50 seconds, you have like a really bad headache, and you hear this just humming, and then you pull your pasta out of the microwave, and it's still frozen.
Think of how crazy it is that microwaves, the most dangerous wave out there, probably, that can kill you, probably, you stick your food under those rays and then eat that food. Think of how dangerous that is. And people wonder what causes cancer. So yeah. You good? You good, Jay?
I tried to hold in that sneeze. That was...
So microwaves. Am I right? All right.
What was that sneeze?
Bless you, man. I think one of the most popular theories around this would be the microwave one. I think even the United States government said that they thought it could be behind it. So microwaves, to be clear for our audience listening, it's not just like somebody 50 seconds gets zapped by a microwave. It's that some foreign entity or international crime group or somebody has taken some sort of device that can target a microwave, which who knows if we even have the technology for that, and can direct this energy weapon at a person, at a room of some sort, and is able to basically use that to induce the psychological and symptoms that came as a result of that, which is quite interesting and potentially more dangerous than a lot of the weapons that we see in warfare.
I've recovered from my sneeze.
Let's go.
Did y'all hear that?
I'm sure they heard it.
Did they hear that?
They probably heard it.
That wasn't an elevator. That was your mom.
Your mom's an elevator. Alright, guys. So.
I've been roasted.
Yeah, he just got roasted.
Anyways, let's move on and get back to the things that are important in life, like, for instance, microwaves and how they give you Havana syndrome.
Have you ever wondered how a microwave works?
No.
No?
I think I know.
What's the difference between a microwave and an oven, though?
The microwave, they, like, penetrate stuff, and they kind of, like, bounce around weirdly, and that's why sometimes, like, the outside's cold and the inside's warm, or vice versa.
What if they made a microwave oven? So it's like the size of an oven, but it does microwave stuff. So you could do more food for longer periods of time.
I think this is called a big microwave.
Yeah, but it would be like an oven. I think I just tapped into a market here.
You do. You do. What?
Yeah.
You do. You do you, dude.
Thank you.
I'm good at English.
Yeah.
I've been speaking English for, like, a while now.
At least 5 years, right?
At least 5 years. And I was born in America.
I am nearly fluent in one language. No. I know.
I feel like
Español.
How do you say your mom in Spanish? I know mom is mama.
Tu mama.
Tu mama.
I think that's.
I think you're right.
Okay, so let's talk about microwaves. According to The Guardian in 2021, quote, a report released in December by the U.S. National Academy of Sciences Committee found that, quote, directed pulse radio frequencies energy appeared to be the most plausible explanation for the illnesses among American diplomats in China and Cuba. The study did not name a source for the energy and did not say it came as a result of an attack. The Cuban documents called that conclusion puzzling because the report cited no direct evidence for an involvement of radio frequencies in the event of Havana or elsewhere. No known form of energy can selectively cause brain damage with laser-like precision under the conditions described for the alleged incidents in Havana, it said. So, instantly it seems like maybe it's not microwaves. For one, we don't really have that kind of technology where we can precisely laser a microwave in a specific room in a specific area. So if that is what's happening, then it's going to be breaking edge, cutting edge technology, and it's going to be someone that would have access to that. So it's probably not just like your average gang in Cuba. It's probably more likely an international body like the United States government or the Russians, which is definitely a very good theory. And furthermore, these illnesses, if they were caused by that, it probably wouldn't be under the conditions described in Havana. So the Cuban documents didn't seem to really line up with that. So there is a sense that the microwave might not necessarily have been behind it, but it does seem to be the most plausible explanation given, or the most common with the symptoms that it found. What are your thoughts on microwaves?
They're really useful for heating up your food really quickly. And gangs don't have them.
How often do you use a microwave on a weekly basis?
3, 4, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Wow.
I don't know.
Like at least daily.
Probably.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a microwave? I haven't seen a microwave at your house, I don't think.
We do, yeah. It's like right above our stove.
I don't memorize people's microwaves, so I guess that makes sense.
I don't know that I've ever been in your kitchen, actually. Maybe like once.
Dang.
Yeah. Anywho, I'm sure you guys are very interested to know about our kitchen layout.
Yeah.
So we will.
I will drop a floor plan of our kitchen.
You're gonna see the blueprints up on your screen. So yeah.
No, you can't. You don't get to see my kitchen. Now, if you subscribe, you still won't get to see my kitchen. But if you subscribe, you'll be happy and you'll make me happy. Which leads us to part 3.
We didn't
part
finish
whatever.
We didn't finish
part whatever. Part whatever.
Okay.
Subscribe and like and follow and show this to all of your friends, everyone you know.
If you have friends,
everyone you don't know. And if you don't have friends, stop it. Get some help.
Make friends.
We're not supposed to be in solitude.
Yeah.
That's why God made Eve.
Make some friends, guys.
Make some friends.
Get out there.
Get out there.
Yeah.
Anyways, microwaves.
Speaking of microwaves.
Part whatever we're on right now, microwaves part 2.
So, do you think that microwaves, that some government might have technology that could target a microwave in a way that we currently can't do?
Yes.
Okay. So, if we could do that, would it be possible from your professional scientific background to make that microwave target them in a way that could obliviate part of their brain memory?
I don't know the science behind how microwaves work, so I can't answer that. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if the government has a way of just, like, beaming into your brain, like, forget.
It does seem like it is, like, something that's very messing with their brain and everything that happens in these.
Actually, I take it back. That would kind of surprise me.
Yeah.
Because, take, for instance, MLK. Listen to Haunted Cosmos' thing on MLK, because we won't cover that. But he was very clearly assassinated. Again, we won't get into that evidence. But why wouldn't the government just erase his family's memory of all the stuff they figured out?
Because they didn't have the technology to do so?
Freak, you got me. I didn't think about back then.
Okay. But
I mean, flip.
Listen to the episode, so I probably need to do that.
Yeah.
But talking about briefly for a moment, MK Ultra, you are pretty familiar with that project, correct? Okay.
Yes.
So from your knowledge of that, is it pretty clear to you that the United States government does have some sort of mind control, mind altering technology.
Yes.
Okay, and do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Demons. Their mind control techniques are demons. Demonic stuff.
Whoa. So, how did they get this?
Demons. Okay, so this is, and I reference them too much, so I've been told, but this is the source of all my knowledge, of a lot of my knowledge. Haunted Cosmos says that, and because they said it is automatically canon to the real world. No, but I agree with them on this.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me if the government is consorting with demons, thinking they're aliens.
That is a good point. But what about MK Ultra? Like, is there any evidence that they believe they're talking with aliens for MK Ultra?
By the fact that they're using lots of demonic stuff that, like, very clearly, like, a lot of the accounts have, like, not just strange things, but, like, biblical connections in them, but biblical connections as, like, the other way around, like, oh, the devil's the savior and God's the bad guy, kind of stuff connected to that. And obviously that's not true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not super versed on the whole MK Ultra, but I know that, like, if you listen to episode 1, we did briefly touch on the idea that, like, kind of like with the Montauk project, that the government had a facility. We know from evidence, specifically from the government, that the government was trying to figure out a way to control people's minds from the 1950s through the 70s with the MK Ultra project. Do you think that they stopped? Is it still happening today?
I do think it's still happening today. And emergency story mode. This is something I read and researched for the Montauk Project episode, and I got it from another podcast. I don't remember their name, so I haven't fact checked this, but dude, AI just says yes. He just Google searched, is MK Ultra happening today? Anyways, there's this story, and I can't fact check this, but where basically during World War II they're trying to make a ship invisible to radio waves. I can't remember what they did to it, but according to this account, the thing disappeared for a minute, came back, and all the people on board were either fused into the metal or had simply, the lucky ones as it put it, simply had went insane. Which is just like, wow. That's befuddling.
So I asked my search engine, is MK Ultra happening today evidence? And it says, according to a highly recommended source, AI Overview. No, don't use AI Overview.
Yeah.
But because we're running short on time, we're going to use it. And it says, the existence of advanced brain-computer interfaces, or BSAE, has led to academic discussion about the potential for misuse in the future, while some researchers are warning that the original goals of MKUltra could theoretically be achieved with new technology. However, this remains a cautionary discussion about future potential, not evidence of a current active government program. So what it's saying is, because of the new technology we have with brain-computer interfaces, MKUltra could theoretically be achieved. This could actually be possible.
Don't listen to that, though, because, hear me out, AI, all my family believes this, AI is going to be the Antichrist.
No, your mom was telling
not
me
even,
that,
not even joking.
Cosmic.
Yeah,
we actually do want to talk to you about doing an episode on that.
Yeah.
But
there's
even so, I think that there are different AI. So, like, there could be some AI that is so demonic or so possessed in that way. Have you heard of the Philadelphia experiment?
I have not.
Okay, so it happened in Philadelphia with this ship that sailed out at sea, and basically the idea behind it was that it was able to teleport back to the harbor, and the people in it.
What?
It was weird. We need to do a separate episode on this, but a guy just walked into the room that had a sheet of paper that said the Philadelphia experiment.
A guy?
Yeah, a guy. It's interesting.
A guy?
Look it up.
That was my father.
Sorry, your dad.
That was my
Your dad
father.
walked into the room. It's interesting, though. And the idea is that they were able to achieve this weird technology, possibly because of demons or aliens, possibly because of technology that they were able to develop on their own. Either way, do you think that at the end of the day, the government would want to be dependent on something like aliens? Like, if you were the government and you got a message from aliens that said, do this, would you do it?
If I got a message from aliens and I was a complete and utter pagan and they said, do this to win the war, or do this to get ahead of your enemies, or do this for your own personal gain, and I was some sick psychopath that's like, personal gain? Yeah!
But would
then
you trust
probably.
Them? Like, if you're the government, would you trust, like, any foreign entity?
If I test it and I get results, then yeah.
Okay, that's a fair point. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical to say MK Ultra is.
If you see this thing like fly and just whoa, and land in your front yard, and it's a full UFO, and it tells you, here's how to build a UFO like mine, then I might want to be like, well, it has a UFO.
Yeah.
And probably means it doesn't know how to build a UFO. No, they'd probably like, okay, yeah, no, I'm going to try that.
So this idea could extend past the United States, right? Like other nations like Russia or China could obviously have the same connection. Is what you're saying? Okay. I think that's a good explanation. Personally, I lean more towards the idea that the U.S. government has like just developed their own technology independently to do mind control, LSD, microwaves, whatever it may be, to control people's minds or obliviate their memory. That's just a thought.
The whole thing with LSD is it kind of like removes you from like, it kind of just like makes you not able to fully think right.
Yeah.
And that makes you, I think, more vulnerable for demons. I think. I'm okay being wrong with that, but no, I think...
That's a good thought. I think that's right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, because of our busy listeners' busy itinerary, move on to part 3, which is mosquito gas. So, according to the Cubans, at the time, there were a lot of mosquitoes in Cuba. There probably still are, I would imagine. And they were using this gas to kill the mosquitoes, which supposedly could have caused some of these symptoms. What would your thoughts be on that theory, James?
I don't know how that would have spread worldwide.
Yeah, obviously not.
And
I personally think this theory is a little lacking for 2 reasons. Obviously, like you said, with the international thing. And then secondly, because of the sounds associated with it. The mosquito gas wouldn't have
Wait a minute. The mosquito gas had mosquitoes in it. And that's where the annoying buzzing ringing came from, is it's just like a constant mosquito sound in your ear.
That's the sound of mosquitoes dying.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe.
The souls of the innocent mosquitoes are in your ear when you get this disease.
Souls, James?
No.
Mosquitoes are literally demons.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey Siri, does the Bible say whether or not mosquitoes have souls?
Here's what I found.
James, do dogs go to heaven?
No.
Where does it say that in Scripture?
Where does it say they do?
It doesn't say either. But think about it. In the Garden of Eden, where everything's perfect, there's animals, right? That's God's perfect world, right? And there's animals. So what's to say that when we're in heaven, God's perfect world, there's not animals?
I'm not saying there won't be animals. I'm just saying.
But not dogs?
When your dog dies, like, we're the chosen people that got a second chance. But an animal, it can't sin against God, nor can it specifically follow God's rules.
Yeah, so I'm not saying...
They don't have eternal souls.
I'm not saying you listening to this, you audience, that your personal dog is going to be in heaven. But what's to say there won't be a dog in heaven, you know? Or dogs in heaven.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But probably not.
Okay. I mean...
Now, in the new earth, maybe. Because, there's going to be like... Was it like 1,000 years after Armageddon we're going to reclaim Earth? I think.
Yeah. I already talked about
I think. No, sorry. There's the rapture, then there's 1,000 years, then there's the war.
And all that is kind of like...
And it's vague, but
it's...
Yeah. It's vague, and I haven't personally read through that part yet, but my father is read some amount of it and told me the rest.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, it could be mosquito gas. I lean away from that. I don't think it's a very plausible explanation, and it doesn't really explain all of the symptoms long-term or necessarily the sounds that they heard, and it doesn't explain why it happened internationally. So we're going to go ahead and go into part 4.
Hold on, before you do
Go
that,
ahead.
I need to clarify this.
Uh-huh.
For those of y'all that are just listening, and you can hear this kind of noise in the background, I'm not snorting cocaine. I have a stopped-up nose, okay?
He's not snorting cocaine right now.
Now, wait a minute. People might take that to think the truth.
Yeah.
And we don't want them to know the truth. I don't smoke cocaine. Smoke cocaine? I don't sniff
If you're listening
cocaine.
to the Sonic Cosmos... Never mind. Okay.
No, I don't smoke cocaine that often. I mean, I don't.
Don't you like...
In general.
Don't you like smoke toilet paper, though?
No, wait a minute. Don't tell them about that.
Okay.
Don't tell them
You
about
can just
that.
wonder about that, audience. Okay. So, James, this happened...
Before we move on, I
Yeah.
just need to clarify, because they'll think this is a joke. No, this is true.
It's actually crazy. So...
I've been chasing that first Charmin Ultra Shot for years.
All right. Across the globe, people, hundreds upon hundreds of people have gotten Havana syndrome. And there seems to be no true explanation in sight. We will begin by looking at the Chinese incident. According
What
to,
year was the first case?
2016 in Cuba.
Okay.
And it's happened all the way up to the present day. So in 2018 in China, according to Reader's Digest, it happened. Quote, but then how to explain what happened in China? In May 2018, an American posted in the consulate of Guangzhou was diagnosed with the very same mysterious illness. Approximately 18 Americans were evacuated. So, not only did this happen in China, but it is again an American who is affected. Furthermore, other Americans are evacuated. So it's beginning to seem like this is a very targeted disease. Like it's affecting Americans or Canadians, or it's affecting people from North America, but it very does seem targeted to America. What is extremely interesting, James, is that it happened at the White House. Have you heard of this?
Trump, my guy, are you okay?
Not like today.
Okay.
But like recently. But before we get into that,
Is that what happened to Biden?
Before we get into that, James, what are your thoughts on the Chinese case and how that might play into the full story of what this is?
So Chinese case, I kind of zoned out there. Is this the same one we talked about earlier where we had like Americans that had to be evacuated?
It's not the same case we talked about earlier.
Okay. Can you very briefly go over that again?
Yeah. So it's like after it's happening in Cuba, then it suddenly happens in China. This is like the first international case, and it's an American again. So it seems like maybe it's targeting Americans, and so people start to wonder, whoa, is this happening on an international scale?
Okay. Scale.
Yeah.
Or scare, because it's scary.
So, Havana syndrome happens in a lot of countries. It's actually kind of crazy.
Wow. Harry Potter. Wow.
Do you like Harry Potter?
No.
No?
I just so many people are gonna comment on this video now, just so ticked off at me. It's like, you don't like Harry Potter, you psychopath.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, Havana syndrome actually happened in a lot of countries across many continents. But let's talk about it for a minute for what happened at the White House. Because you guys are busy people. You want to know what happened. So before we get into the case, I think it's interesting to note that what happened at the White House kind of began further investigation of Havana syndrome. People started taking it at more of a serious level. So, quote, this comes from CBS News. Since 2016, U.S. government officials overseas and families have reported sudden unexplained brain injuries with symptoms of vertigo, confusion, and memory loss. The CIA, FBI, and State Department are investigating a theory that some of these officials were injured by an unseen weapon. Who might have been targeted by Americans and why are unknown. Incidents have been reported in Asia, Europe, and Latin America. But, as we are first told to you in February, out of reporting found a senior national security officer who said they were stricken in Washington on the grounds of the White House. The former officials you are about to meet are revealing their experiences for the first time. They were responsible for helping to manage threats to national security. So that quote right there talks about this began in the White House. So in 2016, it all began, and then suddenly it hits the White House. This article from 2022 refers to it. So there's people who are beginning to be affected by it with similar symptoms like vertigo, nausea, the same sort of things happening with the sounds. And he describes it as a piercing feeling in this article. So it's like something that feels, again, very directed. So if this is something international like the Russians, not only are they affecting Americans internationally, they're affecting Americans on their home soil in the very heart of our country at the White House. This is obviously a national security threat and needs to be taken very seriously.
What if this is like Russia, they do their test run in Cuba, and they're like, okay, so this gets people sick. Now let's try it in China. Okay, it gets people sick and we got away with it. Now we try it in America.
Yeah. Okay, interestingly enough, it happened in so many countries, though. I have a list I gotta find real quick. Oh, I do want to read this really interesting article. So, quote, in the years since, reported incidents have spread beyond Havana to places like Vienna, London, Moscow, and even in the vicinity of the White House. The medical community remains baffled by what the thing is. Some questions whether it is real at all, and suggested it might be a case of widespread psychological illness, also known as hysteria. So, in a bit, we will talk about whether people are just going insane, which to me seems a little crazy that people would think that, but that even people are beginning to wonder, like, what this thing is. Is there an entity behind it, like a cryptid, which we will have to touch on, but it's crazy.
The thing is that if people are going insane, they're all going insane the same way.
Yeah. And if it happens with like 2 people, you could call it a coincidence.
Yeah.
If it happens with 1,000 people, that's when you've got a real problem. And you have to take it seriously.
Where I come from, and by where I come from, I mean my family, we call coincidences coinky-dinks. It was just a coinkydink.
What? That's actually mispronounced.
Huh?
I think that's mispronounced.
I don't think it was mispronounced. I think that's how we pronounce it.
Okay.
It's mispronounced from the correct way. Yeah,
but so we got countries like Moscow. Is Moscow a country?
Russia,
what? Georgia.
My home country of Moscow. I am not European. I am not Asian. I am not Russian. I'm Moscowian. I am Moscowian. I am proud to be from the motherland of Moscow.
All of our Russian fans just got really annoyed there. Because you know we have a large audience.
I'm not from Russia. I'm from Moscow.
Okay. We got Georgia, Poland, Taiwan, Australia, Colombia, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Austria. So this is happening all over the world, specifically a lot in Asia, although Australia's, kind of an odd man out there. And
is that Georgia like near Russia, Georgia, or like Georgia, United States state?
Like the country, Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is mostly centralized in Asian countries and European countries, but there are a few odd countries out on the list. And then, of course, you have the Chinese cases, you've got the Cuba cases in particular, and then even on American home soil at the White House. So we will go ahead and conclude that section, moving on from where it's happening internationally, and move on to part 5, which is hysteria, which is what we just touched on. James, do you think these people are just going crazy?
No.
Okay. So, have you ever seen a person go crazy because of hysteria?
Not because of hysteria.
No. Does hysteria happen, though?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So, obviously, there are people who go insane. There are people who literally go crazy. These cases.
Can you define hysteria?
It's like people with, some sort of mental condition where they go crazy and they just lose their mind.
Oh, okay.
So, I imagine there would be different levels of it, people who are like Bellatrix Lestrange hysteria, and then people who are like lesser hysteria. But this is not that. This is obviously something that has deeper roots, deeper causes. Perhaps it's the Russians, perhaps it's the Americans, perhaps it's the aliens. Either way, it's not people going crazy. There's got to be a cause behind these thousand plus incidences. So, there's nothing needing more said on that topic, I would say, unless you have something else you want to say.
No?
Okay, cool. Then we will
Now, wait, actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't seen someone go crazy from hysteria, but
Uh-huh.
I have seen someone go crazy. Someone that is crazy. Your mom's crazy.
Your mom goes to college.
Your mom's crazy.
Man.
Your mom just
roasted.
stopped listening to the show.
I know.
Your mom just like, Sam,
We just lost half our
go to
listeners.
your room.
Okay,
She doesn't sound like that.
pretty close. Okay, part 6.
You're gonna get grounded.
Part 6, international causes. So, James, out of the different causes we've talked about so far, which of these do you think is the most likely culprit behind this case?
Russians. No, some sort of country doing some sort of test. Perhaps testing for chemical warfare. Perhaps just testing to see
What if it is the Russians, though?
if it's the Russians.
I'm going to read a quote.
Then we probably shouldn't say so because we alone, us two small podcasters, could offend the Russians to the point of war.
If we offend the Russians, we will probably get Havana syndrome.
Putin.
You're
If
watching this,
you're watching this,
then tell your your translator will probably be the one watching it, because they'll have to translate it.
Putin. Can I call you that?
Vlad.
Vladdy, buddy. Listen, my guy. We're just joking. We know it's not you. We totally know it's not
We
you.
believe you. Okay, this article is going to change your mind. According to Foreign Policy Research Institute in 2024, quote, Russian expert Yulia Ayafe wrote that the most compelling evidence came from a publicity available data, such as the mobile phone tracking information that allowed CIA investigators to deduce the whereabouts of Russian intelligence officers and place them in close physical proximity to the CIA officers at that time. That they had been attacked where they were in Poland, Georgia, Australia, and Taiwan. I'd like to pause here for a moment. The names they just said, Georgia, Poland, Australia, and Taiwan, these are all the names of countries that we previously listed talking about people that had gotten Havana syndrome. So not only were the people who got Havana syndrome in those cases American CIA investigators or CIA officials, they were actually targeted abroad. So these are people, whoever it's happening all over the world, but it's very specifically seeming to target American officials, specifically people like the CIA or the FBI. The article continues. In each case, individuals believed to be Russian Federal Security Service or military intelligence agents were within the range of CIA officers who had been hit in 2019. In two of these incidents, location data apparently showed Russian Federal Security Service agents in the same hotel at the same time their targets experienced the onset of the symptoms. So, if you were undecided to this point, it seems to me, from my perspective, that it was the Russians. They were in the same hotel at the same time they got the symptoms, and the Americans mysteriously got Havana syndrome. I rest my case, but not actually.
Yeah, checks out. Now, I agree with you, but for the sake of our so famousness, and all our viewers that love us,
Oh yeah,
Vlad,
we're going back to
my
the last thing.
guy. We're joking, totally. We're so joking.
There is part of me that
We're not joking.
that does disbelieve it's MK Ultra, because I don't know. Maybe the Russians do have their own MK Ultra program. I would wonder though if
There's MK Ultra, and then there's MK Ultra.
if Russian and American both have their own MK Ultra program, and they've been kind of racing for the past few decades in their own kind of Cold War to develop mind control technology. And so in 2016, one of them achieved it. They started it, and then the other was able to do it, and they started kind of doing the same thing, and then they were able to kind of copy off of each other to reach the same effect. So maybe there's kind of a mixture of both within this mix.
I don't really think there's a race because they've already accomplished so much in the Cold War.
Well, there's nothing to say that mind control technology isn't advancing, though.
Hey Siri, how do you say MK Ultra in Russian?
In Russian, MK Ultra is
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
Alright.
I think our pronunciation did that right.
So, between the Russians and the U.S., which one do you think is more likely the culprit?
Russia.
Okay, cool.
Hey Siri, how do you say Russia in Russian?
Russia. They're just going to say Mother Russia.
I see it.
It's pronounced differently? What the heck?
Mother Russia.
Russia.
Okay, cool. So, James.
I'm from Russia.
Jim.
Janky
my
Jim.
bud. Janky.
Jim with that jank.
Jim with the jank.
I'm the jank
We're
of the
going to move on
Jims.
to our final part of this actual podcast. Part 7. Cryptid connection. James, is there a cryptid that can just sonic ray microwaves? If so, is that what's behind this? Is this just a centaur? Is this Bigfoot? Is this the Mothman?
No.
No? Why not?
Mothman. My guy. Mothy. Can I call you that? I'm just fully stealing that bit from Haunted Cosmos. That's mine now. The Mothman. My guy. I know you're watching this. from your moth phone. You know, he's got that Mothel 16 Pro.
Yeah.
That Mothel Pixel Plus. Buddy, stay away from me and my family,
out.
dude.
We're coming for you.
Dude, Mothy, can I call you that? If you go anywhere near my family, I'll shoot you. But I won't shoot you with a gun. I'll shoot you with the effective thing. I'll shoot you with that. In the name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke thee. Because that's what you do if you encounter Mothman.
That and a silver bullet, right?
A silver bullet with that ingrained onto it.
That's good. So, is it is there a connection with the cryptids to Havana syndrome? No.
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 And why do you believe that?
Because now there may be like a connection between demons,
Okay.
but cryptids. Russians are cryptids.
All Russians? Like
All
every
Russians.
Russian person?
Every Russian. That makes sense why they're in the same hotel room. If cryptids are a thing.
Well,
No, I think it's Russians because it makes it more sense for the
It
Russians.
does make more sense to those Russians.
Russians?
I think some of them could have been the U.S. MK Ultra program, but I think most of them were the Russians.
Russians. My guys. Reds. Can I call you that?
Communists.
You're not cryptids. Anyways, is that
That's all I have today.
yeah?
Yep.
All right. So
We will go ahead and wrap up with a quick question, James. What's your favorite color?
blue.
Blue? Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, right there on our Christmas lights because
Christmas
yeah, our Christmas decor. We will take this time to advertise on the Scissortail Studios channel, which will soon be added as a featured channel.
Films coming soon.
We have some Christmas films coming soon, unless we are unable to get them out, which hopefully we just sealed our doom if we can't get them
Our
out.
goal is 12 films. So
12 films
if we
for the
don't do
12 days of Christmas. Now, I decided we're going to do the proper 12 days of Christmas. We're going to do the 12 days first day starting with Christmas.
No.
Yeah, because that's what the 12 days of Christmas are.
But are
I
people
know,
going to watch
well-
Christmas films after Christmas?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
All right. Well,
Y'all watch Christmas films after Christmas, right?
Put in the comments if you would watch a Christmas film after Christmas.
Okay, yeah. We got like a Wild West Santa.
Don't spoil it. It's a secret.
I can give one title.
Sure.
I'm gonna give one more title. Never mind. I'm not.
We got some good ones.
Yeah.
So go check those out, and above all else, subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned for more episodes. Hit that bell button because we got lots of good stuff coming soon.
And above all else, the serious above all else, is, and I'm gonna take a serious note here. All of you, and we say this almost every time. Christianity is the legitimate better way of life, and we make lots of jokes here, but we legitimately are Christians, and we want to make connections while still having an entertaining time, but also it's just, there's a certain amount of, while the Bible doesn't tell us everything, it still, if it doesn't necessarily want us to know, it still isn't opposed to it.
Yeah.
And I say the Bible like it's a thing, but that's not really. That kind of makes me sound like I have weird theology. If God didn't put it in the Bible, that doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't want us to know. That just means, the Bible is the instructions of how to be saved, and not necessarily everything you need to know of everything.
Yeah. So, what's a good biblical connection to conclude Havana Syndrome, James?
I think biblical influence or demonic influences on people who can get who the demons tell them how to do things, and they do terrible things with it.
Yeah.
Like create diseases.
This isn't something that I touched on earlier, but I think we have to tell you before we go. Havana Syndrome lasts a while, guys. There's people who've had it for months and months after hearing this. It lasts. So whatever it is, it's lasting long-term effects, some people. And so, just to conclude all that, although this is obviously a problem, although we need to look into that, like, above all else, like James was saying, like, there is, like, a purpose behind what we do and what we're trying to say, and there can be a purpose for your life and exactly what he has planned, what God has planned for you. So, just like these people got sick with Havana Syndrome, Jesus healed all of them. That's our connection,
Yeah.
All right.
With that, we're going to let you guys go, and welcome back anytime.
Next week, we'll see you with a really good episode.
Next week, I hope.
Yeah.
We will try our best next week. Anyways, goodbye, guys. Have a great day.
We'll see you guys next week.